You were Samuel Torres. Mr. Torres, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow, so you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. Okay. On November 14th, 2024, the officers observed the defendant's motor vehicle make a wide right turn at an intersection with a dividing concrete median, accelerate at a high rate of speed from the intersection, failed to maintain a single lane, moving halfway into the center lane before returning to the outside lane, cross over a solid white line into a bike lane before returning to the lane, and the officer observed other cars in the area at the time, rendering the failure to maintain a single lane dangerous to the other motor vehicles. The defendant's motor vehicle stopped at a red light and remained stopped after the light turned green, obstructing traffic, and the officer then initiated a traffic stop once the defendant's motor vehicle finally proceeded through the intersection. The officers had to travel approximately 0.5 miles from the original location as the defendant continued to drive. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and the officer observed bloodshot eyes, an odor of an alcoholic beverage, and the defendant stated he did not immediately pull over because he lives at the apartment complex where the traffic stop was eventually performed and did not want his vehicle towed. The defendant stated he was coming from his sister's house, and the officer observed the defendant using the motor vehicle to regain balance. The defendant stated he had one Long Island liquor drink that he was currently consuming inside the motor vehicle, and the officer found a frozen daiquiri still frozen and half consumed on the passenger side of the floorboard.
So he's drinking while driving?
Yes, Judge. And the officers performed standard field sobriety test, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 7 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant was read the DIC and consented to breath. The results were 0.151 and 0.160.
Mr. Torres, do you have a Texas driver license?
Yes, sir, I do.
I'm now taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive at all for any reason. And I don't give a rat's behind what your excuse is. If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. Do you understand?
Yes,
From
sir.
now on, you'll be taking the Dodge Patas. This is an affidavit that you're going to be signing with me today, promising me. And I don't care what your excuse is. If there's a burning building with 50 kittens you have to save, you get into a car and drive, we will have issues. I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I will randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, likewise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds, sir. Any private to be eyes, Alex? How old are you, sir?
Mid-3.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a mechanic.
How much money do you make a month?
About 24 right now.
Who do you live with?
My wife, my sister, my daughter.
Who else in the house works?
Just me.
Apply for an appointed lawyer, sir. So help me. Any issue, Mr. Torres, if I set your bond $5,000 to $10,000 and you ain't got anyone to pony up that kind of money, you will be stuck like Chuck until this case is over with. Make wise decisions while you're out there, because if you don't, I'm going to keep you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you mind giving me an application, please? Have you application for an appointed lawyer? I need you to fill out everything. Don't just put zeros, because I'm going to send it right back to you. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. You're going to have to meet with Felicia for your bond conditions. Then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box.